safe when this all blows sky high, which it will. The question is just when. It is scary. And then I see elites all running to the hills and building armored redoubts and safe houses and going to New Zealand. It's all these special interests who can't help but make themselves wealthy, and they don't care about the long-term issue. It just sounds like a time bomb.
Well, it is, and it's getting worse. And, people say, what can we do about it? And normally you'd say, well, call your congressman. I don't know that can do anything about it anymore. I fear we're headed down that path of last resort, where if you look to how we're going to deal with this, we're going to have to march on Washington. And I don't know if you're going to pick up a pitchfork, a baseball bat, or what to do it, but we've got to start making our voices heard. We've got to get their attention. I would probably give my life for the opportunity for Bill Binney to be invited to Congress. And why wouldn't they? The guy's a genius. We know how to do this job called intelligence in big data. Catch bad guys, protect privacy at the same time without giving up anything, and they won't even talk to him. They won't even invite him in, not even a closed
And he's
session.
the guy that invented most of the systems that they're getting rich off of.
Exactly. And he didn't invent them for this purpose. We built the protections in. And my God.
I know it's all classified, but basically it gets into algorithms and all the rest of it where you can really zone in on the algorithm of the real bad guys. But when you add all the data, it just screws it up, which then shows you that... Yeah, go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. You have to know how to process and leverage the data to deal with the 3 V's, is what I call it. Velocity. This stuff moves down electronic pipes the speed of light. The variety. Look at all the stuff you can do with your smartphone. You want to tweet, you want to chat, you want to look at maps, you want to whatever. Oh, and make phone calls, by the way. And the variety of data and the velocity and the volume. We can't keep up with our email queues. Imagine if you're collecting the world's communications, how much there's out there. We devised ways to deal with that and to do it constitutionally. Why does no one want to talk about that?
Because it's too inexpensive to do it that way, and it's better to have a giant white elephant that doesn't work. And then all the other criminals that are in the government and the banks laundering money, running drugs, they don't have to worry about a real NSA anymore when they operate overseas because it's been blinded and infiltrated by their operatives.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
It's the fall of the Republic, final segment with Kirk Wiebe, an incredible patriot who I hope will come back routinely. This guy is amazing with all of his information. Accuracy.org, exposefacts.org. Retweet it. We tweeted it out at Real Alex Jones. It's up to you folks to turn this around. Maybe he can do 5 more minutes the next hour because I want him to talk about the persecution these guys went through for going internally through Congress, blowing the whistle. We've got this segment and one more with NSA whistleblower Kirk Wiebe. Just an amazing individual. And imagine being up there in D.C. or being in Maryland or being in other areas just surrounded by all these yes men and women and saying, no, I'm going to tell the truth. As George Orwell said, in a world of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Mark Twain probably said it even better. In the beginning, a patriot is a scarce man, hated, feared, and scorned. But in time when his cause succeeds, the timid join him, because then it costs nothing to be a patriot. And I've studied history. I started reading history books when I was about 6, 7 years old, kids' history books. By the time I was 10, I was reading adult history books. I just found it to be fascinating, much better than science fiction or comic books. And by the time I was in high school and college, I saw the brainwashing and the tyranny and saw where we were going. So I've been on air since I was 21. I'm 41 now, 20 years. And I just seen the slide of this nation. And it's all because I read history books. Those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. I think Lord Acton said that. He also said power. He said absolute power corrupts absolutely. He said power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I want to give Kirk, in just the 3 or 4 minutes we have left here, and then the next little segment, any other points he wants to cover. I want to talk about the persecution, and that really illustrates how evil this government is. They follow the law. They go through Congress. People come after them. But briefly, we're supported at InfoWarsStore.com with the high-quality shortwave radios, Patriot apparel, heirloom seeds, books, videos on every liberty subject you can imagine, super high-quality vitamins and minerals, nutraceuticals. We're supported by your purchases, so shop with the good guys. We're a platform for freedom, transcend left, right. It's all about basic renaissance, basic transparency. InfoWarsLife.com, our amazing deep earth source of iodine that's so pure and doesn't upset your stomach like other cruddy iodines. There's a lot of iodine deficiencies out there. We are selling out of our supply. We've had it for a couple of years. And now the deep earth crystals, we're trying to get another contract to get these. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue to supply it, probably. But if you want to get it, now's the time. InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. Kirk, we got about 3-4 minutes to break and then a 5 more minutes segment. What do you want to hit in closing here?
Well, we didn't talk a lot about USA Freedom, but I think you said that a previous guest had done that.
Well, no. I want to get your take as an expert on it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, well, I don't think very much of it. It doesn't change any. What makes me angry is that it's deceitful. It makes us all believe, because of the way the media treats it, as this is somehow finally Congress doing something to protect us, when in fact it doesn't address other authorities that are on the books that NSA has, such as Executive Order 12333, presidential order that gives the NSA the authority to collect anything it wants in an emergency situation. Now, who declares emergency? Well, Bush did. He said, we're at war effectively. I need wartime authority.
Every year, Congress declares an emergency. That's how they suspend the Constitution.
Exactly. And we've been operating that way all the way up to now since 2001. So how do we know what NSA is really doing? There's no mechanism for Congress to see into NSA's databases, to see what they're collecting, to see what analysts are doing with that. Now, I'm not saying they're all playing around with our lives, but I'm telling you the power to do so is there. How do we know Lois Lerner didn't get tip-offs about conservative groups seeking 401k status or 301c status when she started going after them and making it hard for them? We don't know. We know the DEA uses NSA data. We know the FBI uses it.
We know any unconstitutional power can and will be abused.
Absolutely right.
We're going to come back with in 70 seconds after this break. I'm going to give you the floor for 5 minutes to just hammer in on this, because that's just bombshell from your expert analysis that exactly, there's all these other operating powers. They focus on some section of the Patriot Act with metadata. When it's admitted, they're just recording basically everything. Stay with us. We'll be back with NSA whistleblower Kirk Wiebe on TV in the 50s and 60s, and now look where we are. We knew every totalitarian system that killed hundreds of millions of people in the last century pushed this type of garbage. I mean, you want to live in hell on earth, folks? You get rid of privacy, because bad people will use it to screw you over every time. It's the ring of Mordor. It cannot be used for good. It will always turn bad 10, 20 times what you use it for good. And it's evil if you study history. It'll work right up front, and you'll think it's great, and you'll start using it more, and then it's over. And by the way, I just mentioned this earlier, and they found some news articles and put them on screen for TV viewers. For radio listeners, I'm going to read these headlines for you so you can go see it for yourself. I learned about this more than 10 years ago from an industry insider we had on the show. And then now it's been in the news the last few years. But you know Amazon can predict what you're going to buy off your habits before you buy it and before you even know you're going to buy it. Now, that's beyond NSA, and that's why they're partnering with Amazon at the NSA and CIA. Here's the headline. Websites vary prices, deals based on users' information. The London Evening Standard, online shoppers pay more if spy software shows they're well off. As an online retailer, folks, I could partner with companies and pay them a percentage of profit and do this to people with algorithms that know what you'll pay, so when you come there, the numbers change. We've talked to industry folks. We'd probably increase profits 80-something% the first year. I'm at a disadvantage. I will not commit what I know is a crime, even if the government says it's okay against people. Even though it would fund our operation, I could put the Ring of Mordor on right now and be more powerful. But it would turn bad down the road. But now we're just so inundated by it, it soon will be obsolete, won't be able to operate. Because soon the whole system's based on this. I'll have to go out and be Amish to not be part of it. It takes you voting with your dollars and saying no. And I'm going to explain something at home and at our office, and I try to remind the guys to do this one, that we need to use a travel agent because my crew's too busy to be doing it. I'm sending 3 people to Switzerland, on the edge of Switzerland, to the last time was in Switzerland in Europe, well, England before that. I'm sending 3 crew members to Austria, and the difference in plane tickets, if you clear your cookies, because they know we buy a lot of plane tickets. And in the past, we just didn't understand this, or I didn't tell people. We'd pay whatever it was saying and wouldn't shop too much. And it's algorithms across platforms. You can be on British Airways. You can go to another site and put it in there. It knows who you are. It applies it. And it's the same price. You go clear your cookies. You go protect your identity. It's 5, 10, sometimes 15 times cheaper. Do you understand the magnitude? People say, I don't care if they're spying on me. I have nothing to hide. That's like saying, I don't lock my doors. I have nothing to hide. I don't pull my shades down. I have nothing to hide. I don't have a gate around my house. I have nothing to hide. I don't put a fence around my cows. I have nothing to hide. They're going to walk off and fall in ditches and get run over. We have barriers to protect ourselves. I mean, you spy on the government, you get espionage charges. They spy on us, it's no big deal. Corporations, you spy on them, you get arrested. They spy on you, it's no big deal. And it's because if we could almost double our profits screwing you like this, can you imagine? Everybody else just says, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, you can go out right now and partner with companies with your shopping carts to screw people. And most people just do it. In fact, I've had people tell me I'm a chump when I've talked to consultants and folks, top people, that I won't do this. They go, everybody's doing it. Well, everybody was cutting children's hearts out, 600 years ago in Mexico City and eating children. And they were doing it in Europe, too. I'm not doing it. Sure, everybody in Sodom and Gomorrah was raping kids. I ain't doing it. You got it? I'm not taking a microchip. I'm not taking your vaccines. I'm not eating your GMO. And I'm not drinking your fluoride. You got it? I know it's a takeover. I know it's evil. I know it's bad. And yes, I'm frustrated. We could use those millions of dollars to fund the operation, but I cannot engage in criminal activity. And I sit here and watch all these immoral people taking over as they screw everybody. And they do it because the public's lazy and takes it. Don't you people want to get plane tickets for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 times cheaper? Don't you want train tickets cheaper? Don't you want video games cheaper? Don't you want... No, you won't even do it to save money. You love getting screwed because you kill your own babies, and so you want to kill yourself. Your brain's powerful. You decide to be lazy and dumb and kill your babies, your brain wants you dead. Your subconscious goes, this is a piece of crap. I want to die. So you're a loser. You get into being losers. Excuse me. See, I try not to get mad because it exhausts me. It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry that I've got to spend so much time trying to raise money to fund this operation when I should be spending it on fighting the globalist. And then I watch all these people, these soulless, moralist people screwing everyone. I mean, there used to be laws about manipulating prices at stores and putting up signs and changing them, and it's called false advertising. And this is still illegal, what they're doing, just no one's standing up to them. You want to know why they hate me and attack me all over the news every day? Because I know what they're doing, people. And it ain't hard. I read the news, and I run a major operation. I live it. You know, I could go join these people right now. The establishment's reaching out to me right now to go join them. And let me tell the establishment something. Never over my dead body, and I know that's what it comes down to, I will never join with the devil. I will never be part of hurting innocents. I will never be part of being a bully and screwing people over. I want to empower this species. That's That's the big payoff. I want my progeny with your progeny going into the future as an incredible species, not a bunch of backstabbing crap.